I'm Sylvia Kirkwood. I was Sylvia Hampson, Liz Hampson's daughter, and Ron is my cousin. His dad, Colin, was my dad's brother. They both went to the war in 1917. Dad was born in Gayndah on the 4th of the 5th, 1893. Parents were Annie and Frederick Hampson. After 3 sets of twins, Les was the only one not a twin. And this was the Hampson family home in Nanango. This is Dackeel, where both Dad and Uncle Colin worked before they went to the war. Dad rode to there from Nanango when he was only 14, rode up on a horse. He enlisted in the army on the 10th of August 1916 at the age of 23 years and 3 months. This was an old photo of Nanango railway station where they both would have gone from. He spent Christmas 1916 on the ship going to England, where he spent some time at a farrier school and was commended for his good work on handling horses. And while he was in England, he was able to meet up with some relations and his brother Colin, who also enlisted. I do remember Dad saying one time when they heard the first aeroplane over there, he said, "Oh, what a noise it made." Something he'd never heard before. This was a postcard he sent home to his mother. It's called "To My Mother." Les was assigned to the 41st Battalion C Company as a Lewis gunner. At the height of battle, he was wounded by a shot in the foot on the 3rd of September 1918. And as a result of his injuries, he never got back to the front line. I have got a letter there that he wrote to his uncle after he was wounded. And I only found this letter a few months ago, didn't know it existed, and didn't realise that he was in such peril. It says, "Dear Uncle Bill, at last old Fritz got a hit in." Not much, however, just a bullet through the right foot. We were then just to the north of Peron. On the 11th, we went up to the line again. Old Fritz almost got us with the bombs on our way up. 2 were not more than 20 yards off, but luckily we were in a trench at the time. These bombs sweep along the ground when they explode. It made us feel a bit off, hearing this plane directly above us, not knowing where the next would fall. The battalion that relieved us had reported old Fritz well on the move. And on the 30th of August we had quite a long march to reach the firing line. At 10 o'clock we left the Somme. It was about 3 miles up to the line. I was in charge of one Lewis gun team of 5 men. One of our men, a Nanango chap, got a piece of shell in the neck, and 2 of the others were missing very soon after the start. Fritz too saw us out alone and concentrated his machine gun fire on us, so you can imagine it was a warm spot. There were only a few of us left then, myself and one other in my team. This chap then got hit through the thigh. Next I got my issue in the foot. Well, there was little to do then for me but keep low in a shell hole. This I did until Fritz had wasted a lot of ammunition, then made a bolt from the hell hole to shell hole back. I thought it a long 400 yards as my foot had got stiff. I saw a few of my pals in shell holes as I went back. I got helped back to a dressing station about 2 miles by 2 Fritz prisoners. Today I saw an X-ray photo of my foot. It seemed to me to be doing okay. It gives me no pain. He was in hospital when peace was declared and spent Christmas 1918 on the ship returning to Australia. The name of the ship being called Nestor, which is why he called his property Nestor Vale after he acquired it. This is Mum and Dad's wedding photo. This was the first hut that he built on Nestor Vale without putting any nails in the iron, because he knew he'd want to use the iron at a later date because they probably would shift from where he put that. And the second one, the third one, and then they rebuilt again. There were 6 of us in our family. That is Nestor Vale at a later date. That one there is a very typical one of my dad, because he always smoked a Benz stem pipe and very seldom saw it out of his mouth. He was a very good horseman too, good at bushcraft.
That's Colin Hampson, my dad. A real quiet man, exceptionally good horseman. Colin was born on a property down Gajia near Mount Dubbera, approximately 1905. After leaving school, his first job was a stockman, and at the age of 19, Colin enlisted into the army in 1916 and departed for France with the 47th Battalion. During the Battle of Flinders, Colin was wounded by a grenade and recovered. Colin returned to Belgium, but was once again wounded during the Battle of Passendale Ridge. Colin returned to France and was involved in the Battle of Devoncourt. Colin was listed as missing in action and later as a prisoner of war. Colin spent 6 months in Christau prisoner of war camp in Neckelberg, Germany. Colin was married to Sarah Sadie, Margaret Nicolona Woodford. Colin never fully recovered from the injuries received during the war. I think he was gassed actually. Then they moved to Yarraman. Colin and his family moved once again during 1925 and 26. Selected the property here at Hillview. The first hut they built just across the creek here was just a slab hut. Well, I can only just remember it, I know it was, to say they're just slabs, and they had paper going to keep the breeze and that out. It was pretty cold. It was pretty rough, but that's the way it was. There was a house here, an old house. They built this house on top of the same place.
And this memorial is at Nanango, and Dad's and Uncle Colin's names are on there.
Yeah, they wouldn't talk much about the war. It wasn't long before he died, but that's the way Uncle lives. He said, I said to him one day, I said something about the war, and he said, he just shook his head and he said, I hope you never ever have to do that. He said, it's a waste of life.